I get. So I don't want to hurt myself getting out of the chair.
One sec, guys. Sorry. My phone just died. Oh. I think we have a backup.
Are we back?
We're back.
All right, all right. So what I've done is to practice this, I put a cushion on the ground, okay? And that's just because the cushion that we use is on our wheelchair, okay? So if you have two cushions, you could use the other cushion. So I'm going to carefully get out of the chair and sit on the ground, okay? So all right. So it may take a little time. You may find that it's easier from one side or the other, okay? So I can do it both ways, but you might find that you're right-handed and you like to turn to the right, okay? So maybe if you fall out of your chair, you have to get your wheelchair and you need to pull it all the way around to the other side, okay? Now, for those of you that have brakes, I would use brakes, okay? So I don't have any brakes on my wheelchair. I actually prefer it when the wheelchair moves, but also the handy thing is using the cushion too. So, and so what we want to do is we want to get kind of at 90 degrees. So see the wheelchair is kind of facing this way. I don't want the wheelchair over here. That's too far to go. And then when the wheelchair's over here, that's really, you have to get up and over the wheel to get in there, okay? So I like a nice, and you may find it a little bit different, but like a nice little 90 degrees like that, okay? Now, this is where it's good because we've been working out, we've got good strong arms, okay? So we've been eating healthy, so we're not too heavy, okay? What I like to do is I like to put one hand on the furthest bar of the wheelchair, okay? Then with our other hand, we're going to plant it almost touching the back of my hip, sort of touching your bottom there. And what we're going to do is we're going to tip our head forward. So what that's going to do is help our torso come up, okay? So what we do is we push down with this hand, we push down, and that gets those arms up. And then what we're going to do is we've got to honk, and we've got to get our body up onto the bottom. So we're sort of sitting here like this. And you're going to be really strong at this point. And you have to push and pull and get yourself back up into the chair. Okay, so it's going to take some learning. And, different disabilities will do it differently. I also have a little cheat method that I do because, as you guys know, I can stand a little bit. So if I'm out of the wheelchair, what I'll actually do is I'll put my feet really close to my bottom there, and I'll actually get up over top of the legs, sitting on the legs, and you can pull the wheelchair behind you like that. And now those dips that we've been practicing, dip up, and push, and get back onto the wheelchair. And that's why I don't like brakes, because I can push the wheelchair under me, okay? So, all right. So does anybody have any questions on that one? No? Everyone think they'll be able to do a floor transfer? Did you have a question, Suchi? No, okay. All right, how about you, Emily? You good at floor transfers? No? You know, the other thing you can do too is to practice is just use like two cushions, some nice big cushions, so you're not too far off the ground. Okay, did you see that, Emily? What we were doing? Yeah. So then when you sit, it's a little bit closer to practice. Okay, so now the distance between here and here isn't as far. Okay, so once again, you put this hand down near your hip, this hand on the other side, lean all the way forward. You may need to get your legs out here, because sometimes you can even get that torso in between your legs rather than you know, like your chest getting stuck in there sort of thing. Get the legs apart, lean forward with the head, swish your bum up to the top, and then sit up, okay? All right, so we'll keep moving because I think most of you have got that down pat, so. All right, so who can tell me like another cool wheelchair thing to do? What's fun to do in your wheelchair? Camden.
I don't really do much stuff on it, really. Not really. No.
How about wheelies? Who here can do a wheelie? Wheelie, wheelie, wheelie. Man, everybody can do wheelies. All right. Well, let's see. We've got a couple of others there that I can't see. So I'm just going to show you like a good way to learn to do wheelies, okay? If you're too scared, and yeah, it's pretty simple. So you think who's Zachary Joseph? Yeah. All right. So well, should I do it or not?
Which part?
The wheelies, because they can all do it.
You can skip it if you want.
Yeah, I think I'll skip it, seeing as though you guys can all do it. All right. So, you know, we've got there's also some other stuff too. And
Oh, sorry.
hang on, sorry guys. All right. Am I muted still?
Oh, wait. You don't want to see me.
We can hear you.
We good? All right. So we're going to move on then, assuming that everybody can do a wheelie. Okay. So a good thing to practice is who here can drop down a curb? Down a curb. Kumaka, Hunter, Emily, Camden. All right, maybe I can't see Joseph, so maybe we'll just go through this good little. It's just like a little drill, okay? So what I want you guys to do, and you can do this too, Aurora. Get you used to being able to drive up and down small bumps, okay? So all I have here is just like a piece of wood, okay? It's not even very wide. I mean, it's as wide as my wheelchair, but it's not very wide that way, okay? So all you do is, it's just to practice those fine little skills of doing wheelies, okay? So you have like absolute control. So easy one, obviously, wheelie towards it. And now what happens is I can feel the edge of the board, okay? So we're gonna pop a wheelie. We're going to push up onto it, okay? Push up onto there, and we're going to balance, okay? So now I want to practice my curb drops, so it doesn't have to be dangerous. All I do is go up to the edge and pop, okay? Easy as that. Nice little inside drill. We're not making too much noise. We're not doing any damage to our chair, okay? Now, what we want to do is we want to go backwards. And this is just about learning to balance really well, okay? So you lean back a little bit, almost till you fall, and pull, and get back up onto that board, okay? So get to the front and drop, and then lean back a little bit, and pop, back up onto there, okay? And all that does is that just helps us in our daily life, okay? So, I mean, it's kind of fun dropping down curbs and all that sort of stuff, but we don't want anything to ever hold us up, okay? So, all right, that's pretty good.
Coach Derek,
Do you have any questions about?
Oh, yep. Sorry, Mayo.
if we're practicing going backwards, should we make sure we have someone to assist us or maybe a pillow to fall into if we haven't done that before?
Yeah, I would either get a helmet or have somebody assist us. The other thing that that I'm going to do, and I did kind of skip over it, is you can put the board in front of the couch. Okay, so
Oh yeah, that's good.
you put the board over here like this. You got to try and figure out, there's going to be a little bit of distance and stuff like that. And then you can wheelie up to it like that. So you can do a wheelie, okay? The other thing to do, remember, when you're doing wheelies, is you want your torso upright, okay? So if I bring the wheelchair up, see my legs come up. I don't actually lean back, okay? Just to do a comfortable wheelie. But then, if I'm going to get back up onto that board, I need to lean back with my head a little bit, get the weight, and pull, and get back up onto there. And then if I go too far, all I do is land on the couch, okay? And then you got to kind of climb back off the couch, okay? Makes sense?
And then if by chance you aren't able to do your own wheelies or maybe even push yourself very independently, just knowing how to tell someone else how to do, how to pop a wheelie to get you over bumps is really important. So even if you physically can't do it, knowing what verbal cues to give someone else to do it is important.
Yeah. But yeah, I want you guys to all work on skills almost on a daily basis, okay? And that includes power chairs as well. So for people in manual chairs, it could be as simple as just balancing for a bit, doing just some small spins. Wear a helmet if there's nobody around, okay? Just spins. Just practice, see if you can do them, one-handed, and it's not, well, it is kind of fun to show off to your friends, but it's also just handy stuff, like you never know. There's a really good way to get up a curb when it's too big and you can't get enough run at it to like hop up it. You can find a pole, like a parking meter or a stop sign, and you can get all the way up. You can put your front wheels on the step. You can hold onto the pole and you can pull yourself up onto the curb, okay? Well, unfortunately, I don't have an example of that at my house, but we can also share a link later on that has a really good demonstration on that, okay? And then for someone like maybe Aurora, you might want to set up like an obstacle course, okay? Like, I don't know if you've seen the people that play power soccer. They're very accurate with their chair placement. So, whether you put some cans of soup on the ground and practice driving really close to them without hitting them, okay? And then backing up and not hitting them, and then also being able to drive up and around them, okay? And then you could even like do some stuff in your driveway, make a time trial, okay? Like go out into the driveway. If your driveway's safe and you're not going to get run over, set up some cones, okay? And like see how quick you can do a lap that way, and then see how quick you can do a lap that way, okay? So, challenge yourself like every day. Instead of playing computer games straight away, and the first thing you do in the day, go outside, get some exercise, push around, see how many dips you can do, maybe share it with everybody, okay? Say that, look, I'm up to 148, see who can do 150. Okay, all right. Next wheelchair skill. All right, so this one is just one that I, I didn't actually know about for quite a few years, and I saw somebody else with a disability in a wheelchair do it, and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I didn't know how to do that. So we're just going to quickly show you that. It's just a simple way to get up a doorstep that is actually in the doorway, okay? So we're going to come over to Kerry and I's front door. We're going to ask Frank to move out of the way. Excuse Frank.
I'm going to switch cameras again because my phone keeps heating up for some reason.
Out of the way.
Oops. Sorry, guys. Okay. Okay, Derek, go for it.
Go for it. Everybody, this is Frank. Everybody say hi to Frank.
I'm gonna call
Hi,
Frank over.
Hello, Frank.
Right, so simple doorway like this. So I'm going to hop down first. Can you see the doorway?
Coach Gary, we can't really
Trying to make
see-
you bigger.
it's kind of too high. Like you got to put it down a little bit more.
So we can see
Right
down here
there.
in our doorway, we actually have a little. We don't actually
Right
use
there.
our front door very out of the way, Frank. Come on.
Right there. A little bit more down. Right
You
there.
can see there's just a little step, so you watch, I'll pop down there. So once again, I'm doing that wheelie, and I've got a wheelie up over the door threshold, and then down and stop before I drop off the big step at the front door, okay?
Frank, come.
So rather than have somebody push me in through the doorway, you show the bottom. Yeah. Tilt a little bit. Yeah. So all we want to do is we want to wheelie up over like this. Okay. So I'm keeping my weight forward. You can see the step. And then all I'm going to do is just hold onto the doorway and gently pull myself up through the door. Okay. Nice and easy. Did everybody know that one already? Camden knew it. What about you,
Yeah.
Kamaka? You get yourself through doorways? Nice. What about Zach? Oh, not Zach. Joseph. Do you know that one?
Yeah.
Good? All right. Do you think we're going to be good to go outside with battery?
Yes. Sorry, it's
All right. All right. We're going out to the next skill. So
Wait.
we've got to go outside for this one.
And I'm gonna pause my video and then turn it around too. Okay. Just so we don't make you sick when we go outside. Yeah, they can hear us. Don't say any bad words, Derek. Just kidding. It's hot out here, guys.
You want to go down there? We'll keep staying in contact.
Yeah, hopefully.
Or should you stay up here?
I can go again in the shade, if anything I need to. You all still with me?
Yes.
Yep.
I see heads. Yeah. Can you go this way?
I'm going to go down there.
Ah, crap, really? Wait,
I'm gonna go
backwards?
down the ramp.
No, I mean, do I need to film you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, wait, hold on. Hold it, kids.
Does anybody have any questions about any wheelchair skills they want to learn?
Okay, there we go. Woo! All right, now I can see and it's really bright. Oh,
Still got Liffy?
I hope so.
Oh, you don't have to go. You go. I want you to stay there.
Ah,
I don't know why you keep moving. Sorry.
oh, I thought you wanted me to film the front of you.
No.
You guys are getting a tour of our backyard. Woo!
That was the Ability First pool that was there on Tuesday.
Yeah, the Ability First
All
pool.
right, so you can see me.
Yeah.
All right, so
It's backwards. How weird.
if there's the normal way of going down a ramp, okay? So when you're in a wheelchair, and that's just leaning back like this, but and it's a pretty safe way to do it. But you can also, if the ramp isn't like ADA or if it's too steep, what you're going to find is eventually you'll start slipping because you're too far forward on the big wheels, okay? And you'll slip down the hill. So this is where you need to get really good at your wheelies, okay? So we can simply pop a nice little wheelie. And we want to have our hands, this is something we should practice with a family member or at least with a helmet on, okay? Our hands here, we want to come up to the edge of the ramp, nice and gently. And on this time, we actually want to keep our weight just a little bit further back, okay? So pop out like that. And very, very slowly release your hands nice and gently down the ramp, okay? just like that. You can sort of see I'm not moving too much, just leaning back a little bit. And if the ramp was steeper, I'd probably have to lean back even a little bit further, okay? But if this is actually a really safe way to go down a ramp, okay? Go down like that. And then we're done. All right? And then remember I was saying before about learning to go up stuff? That's about getting your weight forward over the wheelchair, okay? Get to the bottom, nice big strong push like in basketball or something, and nice big sharp pushes without stopping too much, okay? Nice and easy, okay? And then, you know, if you want to get, then you can get faster and faster eventually. You can do nice little wheelies. And if you want to be you really want to work on some skills too, is learning to go backwards up the ramp. There's no real purpose of this. It's just something that you can push yourself to do, okay? Come backwards up the ramp. Keep coming back. Just work on that balance so that we know whenever we go somewhere, it's not going to hold us back, okay? So you can even, this is carrying out our little skate park, about as good as it gets. Now we can hop off this, which is crooked, pop down there, pop off some crooked things. It's good fun. All right. So can everybody, I can't remember, can everybody hop up a curb?
Yep, people are raising their hands. nodding
Everybody
their
can go
heads.
up a curb? All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm still gonna demonstrate it for those, because this, you know, we're gonna make this video for others that can't attend today. So I'm gonna go on the other side.
Coach Mayo said, talk about breathing, not holding your breath when.
I think what Coach Mayo wants me to explain is our bodies and our brain function a lot better when we're constantly breathing through things. It's a natural habit to hold your breath, you know, because sometimes it's actually like a scare reflex. So like say like Kumako, who drops in off those like huge things and like bombs into half pipes and stuff. You know, when you're getting up there, you know, it's really easy to go and then go kind of thing. It's not easy, but you know, it's sort of just a natural reaction is to hold your breath. It's almost like a concentration thing, but your body will actually stay more relaxed and you'll be more in control if you can breathe through it. So nice big breaths, and it sort of calms the body, and then you can do those things. So it's something to also do when you do racing events like a hand cycle race or even like wheelchair basketball or something, is to always concentrate on that breathing, because if we starve ourselves of oxygen, like if you're pushing down the court as fast as you can go, but you didn't breathe the whole way, you're gonna get to the other end. You're gonna be like, oh man, I can't even shoot the ball anymore, you know. But if you've come down the court and you're like, you're breathing, you know, then you get down there and you've still got some breath left, and it's easy to make that shot. Okay, does that sort of cover what you were thinking, Mayo?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So I've just made like a little curve here. It's not too high. Okay. We don't get for something this high. You don't need a lot of speed. Okay. We just want to be able to push towards it at a nice pace. When we get towards close to the curb, probably, you know, like the width of your hand kind of thing away from the curb, we're going to want to do a wheelie. Okay. And then we're going to want to keep our weight just a little bit forward and let the chair come up, okay? Now we've got to do it with a little bit of speed. So when we get to the point of where the wheels touch the curb, we want to have our hands pretty close to top dead center, okay? So we don't want to have our hands here because we're going to run out of arm. We don't want to have them all the way back here because it's just sort of too much weight back there. Okay, so we come towards the curb and pop, head forward and up the curb. Coming forward. We lost him.
Keep going. Might be back.
Are we back? People wave if they can see me.
Camden.
All right. So that's my chair skills. So let me get back up there a minute. So nice little curb hop up. Now to get down this, we don't ever want to roll off a curb. This one's nice and little, so it doesn't matter. And just let our wheels drop, okay? We always want to pop those wheels up. We always want to drive up, okay? Now, I know you guys all know how to do that, so we don't have to go into that too much. Aurora, I feel like that's something you can practice too, is learning to get up little steps, still with that control, okay? So you don't have to have somebody drive it for you up and down those curbs. You know, when they're small ones like this, you know, there's a little small one, okay? So something that's not going to upset the chair too much. But you may even just get like a simple board. Maybe not even this big. Maybe you can get someone to make it a little rounder, you know, and just simply practice driving up and over it and keeping control of your chair the whole time. Okay, even just a little board like that, just to practice. Okay, so we might head back inside now. All right.
Yeah. Hey Mayo, will you let my phone back in too, please?
Yeah.
I'm going to stop the video while we go in. And think of questions that you guys might have, okay? Or start asking them now. If you guys have questions or comments. If you guys have questions or comments. I just turn that off.
Go into the big computer and just finish up talking to them.
Are people still there?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay. Everything's overheating. I'm sorry. Okay. Go ahead, Derek.
Oh, yeah. All right. So, so that's sort of it for wheelchair skills. I know it's not what Coach Christian does. We weren't able to go to the skate park, and I don't own a skate chair, so I didn't want to ruin this chair. But you know what you guys do, like Kumaka and Camden, and all of you that go to that skate park. It's, even though it's like, you know, it's really fun and it's a sport, like it's really beneficial for you guys. Like there's not going to be anything down the road that you can't get up and down, and you know, it's great. The wheelchair's not going to be, you know, holding you back. You know, keep working on being able to get off the ground yourself. especially like if you're strapped in, you're upside down, be able to get those straps off, hop out of the chair, be careful, you know, sometimes like the ground can be really hot. We don't want to scratch ourselves up, okay? So, you know, especially if you know, when you're a little bit older and you start going to the skate park by yourself, you know, it'd be nice to be able to get yourself upright. Oh, am I up the right way now?
You're right up the right way before.
Yeah. Yeah. So does anybody have any questions? They want to know anything? Doesn't have to be about chair skills. It can be about absolutely anything. Nothing. Crickets. Not even Suchi. But moving forward, we'll wrap up here. I want you all to just push yourselves every day, okay? Like if you notice that there's something that an adult helps with, like whether getting the chair out of the car or, you know, like getting into bed or something like that, see if you can do it by yourself, okay? Ask them to watch and help, you know, as you learn.
I'll keep going.
Oh, you know, and it doesn't even have to be a wheelchair skill. It can be simple stuff, you know, like I'm assuming you all brush your own teeth, but maybe that's something else simple, like, you know, learning some skills, like even like washing dishes or learning to cook. Just, you've got the whole summer ahead of you. Just try and learn, you know, something new every couple of days, okay? So, you know,
Ask him. See, Camden, what's one thing that you want to work on this summer?
Getting better at like going down curbs a lot faster, because sometimes it takes me time going down a little bit. So I start a little bit.
yeah, that's a great thing to practice. And that is just a practice thing. If you can already get down once, then, you know, it's just a confidence thing, and maybe get an even smaller curb, you know, so don't worry about it being a big curb. Start something little and just get really confident at getting off that tiny little curb. What about, is Ernesto still there? Might have left.
We got Emily, Suchi, Kamaka, Hunter, Joseph.
What about you, Joseph? What do you want to work on this summer?
Probably I would probably want to work on getting down like little like uneven curbs, because sometimes where I'm at, the curbs like are like they're not even, so like getting down easier would be a plus for me.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because you live in the Bay Area, don't you?
Yep.
Yeah. So that's a kind of an older city. So yeah, I can imagine. So you know, maybe you can set something up at home. You know, whether it's a couple of pieces of wood. You know, that you know, one piece of wood this side under a piece of board, and then on the other side, you know, something high, something you can practice on, so you don't have to always, you know, go and play in the street kind of thing. So yeah, that's really hard to get up too when it's uneven. So because you've got to be ready for that bump as it kicks you sideways as you come up the crooked one. So yeah. That's really good too. So who else is there? What about you, Emily?
I wanted to learn going up my backyard step, because it's pretty big. I mean, I've already gone down it one time with my dad and my stepmom back. So they were both watching me and making sure I don't fall and eat the concrete. But yeah, I'm more confident in doing that now than I was maybe like a long time ago.
Yep. Oh, that's really good. Yeah. It's, you know, if the curb's really big, like a really big drop, like say, you know, like if say it was that big, which not that that's one you could get up. But what I've found over the years is, rather than going off really flat, like you go off, can you see my body? So rather than going off really flat when it's a really big curb, if you get a little more tilt like that, it doesn't sort of jar you as much, like it doesn't jar your back, and it uses the wheels almost as suspension kind of thing, because it doesn't go bang. But you are landing on 2 wheels rather than landing on 4 wheels, so you have to be, really prepared
Yeah.
for that.
I actually received a grant for a box chair, and I actually got my box chair.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You get suspension now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you guys don't even need it. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I like it. So, all right. Anybody else? It can be, when I say challenge yourself, I think, like it's fun, just to learn something, like whether it's reading a book about the world or reading like I said, learning to cook or learning to read a map, like before we had phones, you actually had to look at a piece of paper and, like, can you get to your school without using the phone, and would you be able to tell your parent or guardian how to drive there? Like, okay, at this intersection we go left, this intersection we go right, and I know that my school is on 123 Wildflower Way, okay? Just learn something, like what's the address of your favorite friend? Like, can you get yourself there? Like, is it down Highway 2 or, just learn something. So it's good to keep that brain ticking over while you're on summer break, so you don't think something when class starts back up. So, yeah. All right. Any other questions, or anyone have any comments, or what are they doing for the rest of the day, or until movie night starts?
Nothing here.
Everybody missing water skiing, the best sport ever.
Ooh, is that a good club?
I miss
That's a
water
good-
skiing. I was supposed to go on to my next level, the ski board.
That's a bummer.
I was supposed to move on from the 2-rigger one to the 1-rigger.
Yeah. Oh, I know, it's a bummer, isn't it? Now there's that whole extra year. So tomorrow at 10 o'clock, we'll be Coach Maddie and Coach me, and we're going to be talking about water skiing, and we're going to talk about some of the stuff that we don't usually get to talk about because, we're teaching you guys how to ski in real life, but we don't get time to teach you, why you're learning those things and about the course and the boat and, and about the sport in general. So, yeah, so that'll be fun, like competition and, and, today, for everybody, I think most of the people watching today are pretty good, but always remember the CAF grants, okay? Like, remember the other day we had swimming? Say you want to get swim lessons. It doesn't even have to be from somebody who knows disabilities. You could apply for a CAF grant for that, okay? So, and there are other grants out there as well. So if you've already exhausted your CAF grant for this year, maybe shoot the coaches an email, and we can give you some more references to different grants that are out there, okay? So, yeah. All right. So I guess we'll see everybody.
Coach Mayo has something to say.
Coach Mayo?
Hey, Coach Derek, I was looking through my notes for Emily's next water ski level, and I had to hear it. Her next level was handstand. Is that correct?
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah.
It's handstand is your next water ski level. Start strengthening those arms. All right.
I am actually graduating this year.
Oh well, we'll never get to see it.
Where do you live, Emily?
Huh?
Where do you live? San Diego or LA?
I live Orange County, so past San Diego and a little bit past LA.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, there's some opportunities to water ski down there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coach Maddie knows everybody in the water ski world, so
maybe if we cross paths, we could do it. I would be down to do it again.
So besides tomorrow's water skiing, in the afternoon, we have a dance class with Anya. So I'm super excited. She's a new coach. It's going to be super active. So make sure you have room to move, get ready to sweat, get ready to practice your moves. She's going to teach us some new moves for the dance night. I'm so excited. And Coach Carnicia is going to be back at lunchtime tomorrow to talk about some beautifying tips for all of us, boys, girls, and otherwise.
Woo!
Right, guys?
All right. You'll have a good couple of hours and we'll see you tonight.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
Time for chicken soda.